Hey, we haven't done a daily dose in a long time. So we're gonna do one, and we gotta keep it under 15 minutes.
So this week I put on Facebook if anybody wanted us to talk about anything in particular, and we got a few questions that we can answer. So the first one comment was, "I'm curious about the food. What do you think about the food, Gerald?"
The Dutch don't like the keto diet. They eat a lot of carbs and sugars.
Yes.
It's a lot of breads. I like hagelslag is my favorite thing, and it's this bread with chocolate sprinkles on it.
Delicious chocolate.
Yeah,
sprinkles.
it's not like sprinkles, U.S. sprinkles. Like it's this sugary, there's some sugar on. It's like authentic chocolate. I think the biggest thing is even when you go to a grocery store, you go to a low end like grocery store. So the safe way here is Albert Heijn. And the Winco at Walmart is Vomar and Decamart. And even if you go to Vomar, the quality of the food is much better and it's really cheap. So it's like co-op quality in a lot of cases, but affordable.
Yeah. Yeah, organic food. I mean, it's a little more spendy, but nothing like it is in the States.
Yeah, and it's all integrated in. The eggs just sit out on the shelf because they don't bleach them. My favorite part about the food is it's not trying to kill you. That's what I like about the Dutch food. The American food is seriously trying to kill you. It's just poison in your body. I know that sounds really mean to say about American food, but it seriously is true.
Like eating bread here, the bread here, I am scarred for life when we come home. It's so good.
Yeah. And coffee
but
also.
You can eat the bread here and it does not make you feel the way bread does back home.
Yeah.
I mean, for obvious reasons, but it still is kind of a shock. So my favorite things by far are the bread, the butter, and the coffee. The cappuccinos that we have several times a day are so good.
Oh my gosh.
So good. Like Gerald said before, the Vodafone, which is like a Verizon, you get coffee everywhere you go here. Yeah. Everywhere has a cappuccino machine.
Kate sat down for coffee with her hairdresser during the appointment.
Yeah, she was
to
like,
discuss life.
She's like, "Do you mind if I have a cappuccino with you?"
Yeah.
She didn't really say it like that.
Which is kind of a story in itself, but yeah, the Vodafone coffee that's free is better than Dutch. It's better than unnamed coffee shops.
So are the boys picking up Dutch, and are you? No.
I'm on a 75-day streak of Duolingo on my phone, and I still, when people talk, I don't pick up a lot. When I see the words, I can read it. I think the main issue is that everybody speaks English here, so there's no like survival. Like you can survive with English here. There was a guy who worked at the Rijksmuseum for 15 years, and he never learned Dutch because everybody spoke to him in English the entire time.
And the Dutch don't mind speaking in English, so it's not like they're irritated. So we've learned common things like we should, thank you, goodbye.
Dankjewel, tot ziens, goedemorgen.
Yeah. And as far as that goes, our kids they will use those like out when we're out in town.
And the reason why, so Finn went to Dutch school, they would speak only in Dutch. Kids up till the 4th grade basically only know Dutch. All cartoons are in Dutch, but adult shows are in English. But anyway, our kids go to international school, so they speak in English. It's an English system, so they don't... They do a Dutch class, but honestly, they haven't come home with anything from school.
If anything, they would pick up a British accent from their school.
Yeah, Finn has been saying a bit a lot. He's like, "Do you have a bit of chocolate?" That's how Finn talks now. We'll put a video, you'll see. I'll edit
Grandma
that out.
Colleen asked about shopping. So, shopping... Before I came here, I thought the shopping would be way different than what it actually is. So I thought I would have to go from like market to market to market to get like my produce and my meats. Okay, that's not the case. It's a normal market like you'd have
The grocery
a grocery store in the States. There's one in like every neighborhood, so it's extremely close to our house. So it's really easy to get there. But we do have to shop like. We can go like 2 days without going to the grocery store. So you do go a lot more often because food goes bad quicker and your fridge is really tiny. So I still feel like I'm probably spending more here than I did in the States because I still haven't quite figured it all out, and also you want to try new things or the easier thing, and sometimes those things are more expensive.
Yeah.
So
there's more grocery stores, but they're smaller. Not that much smaller, but they're smaller because they're easily accessible by walking or biking. You also need to have a bag. You have to have a bag with you. You can't get a plastic bag or a paper bag, and if you don't, you have to buy one of those bags. So you have to bring a bag there. And yeah. Bling! Look at who it is. It's Milo.
Milo, look.
Milo woke up from his nap, so
No.
you want your mama?
How about he didn't nap?
He didn't nap. So, what's the next question? Oh, Milo said his first words. It was totzines. No, he's not learning Dutch. It was dada, which is what
Dada.
all three of our
Can
kids
you
say.
say it?
It's really easy to say. Can you say dada? Okay.
Okay, so next question was church.
Churches. The Dutch are, well, in urban areas are some of the least, like Amsterdam's one of the least church cities, least Christian cities in the Western civilization. So, yeah. So in Haarlem, there's churches. A lot of them are either Protestant or Catholic. They all speak Dutch for the most part. There's 2 English-speaking churches here. One's Anglican, so it's like an English church plant here. The Protestants also are typically more left of center with their theology. And then we found this church. It's called Meeting Place, and it's about 21 people. And I think it's Assembly of God or something. I was baptized in Assembly of God, so we aren't speaking in tongues or anything like that. But it's like it's all English speaking, and it's a lot of Americans, Dutch, British people, kind of mixed. It's a lot of expats. So it's like more of a traditional Christianity. And so we've gone there twice, and it's good. It's pretty small.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine, and it gives us like Christian community that we still need, obviously.
Yeah.
Especially being here without our community. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just good accountability and good practice to just keep going for our kids, and we've been trying to keep up with like our Saturday Sabbath when we're not busy. So your dad's question.
Oh, Dad is about work, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course the dad would ask, like, what are you working on?
How's your research going,
Dutch,
Gerald?
Yeah, the Dutch don't like when you have a job, they don't believe that that's your entire identity. They have a good work-life balance. But with that said, they have that Protestant work ethic. That's where it came from, was here, actually. And so when they're at work, they work really, really hard, but they also rest really, really hard. I went to Amsterdam yesterday, and I think since I've been here, it's been more of a narrowing my focus. I started a little too broad with my research question. So I start off with social studies assessment. How do the Dutch assess? I found out that was not very big of a thing. I mean, basically, the Dutch school system is different because they have streams. At the age of 12, you take a test called the CETO test, and it puts you into vocational education, or it puts you into like becoming a nurse or a trade, not a trade, but a professional kind of career, and then a university route. So all their students are all literally segregated from each other, and it's completely different than the American model where we're all integrated. So that's interesting, but that's like the end of the assessment. So I had to narrow it down, and I've really become focused on artwork and images and using those for historical thinking and reasoning. So I'm studying at the University of Amsterdam in the education department, and the people there, Carla von Boxtel and Jeanette de Vries, they focus on historical thinking and reasoning. So just to break that down really quick, you have public history. That's all the like facts and stuff that you forgot from history, like who wrote the Declaration of Independence. A lot of Americans don't know that. So that's like public history, like know when Waterloo happened and stuff like that. And then there's this other element which we forget about, which is the skills of being a historian. So like coming up with research questions, because history is not a static dates and stuff. It's a lot of questions, like what caused such an World War I, for example. You can go a lot of routes with that, and it's an argument. It's using evidence to argue. So my focus is on this side, and how do we use historical skills? But the issue is a lot of history teachers don't have enough time or have a lot of demands that keeps them from focusing on this realm, so they focus on this realm more. So I'm trying to make lessons that are easier to incorporate into a traditional classroom that use images. So Renaissance art, Baroque art, I'm looking at Dutch Golden Age art, I'm looking at different museums here, and I'm going to come up with a few lesson plans and unit plans that incorporate analyzing primary sources, the painting or image or photograph or whatever, and how do you use that to help start a lesson, and how do you use historical reasoning with that? How do you analyze a primary source? How do you put that into the right historical context? Like, how do you know that's a Renaissance painting and that's a Baroque painting, and that kind of stuff? So there you go. That's what I'm focusing on. I'm also going to be speaking in Berlin, which is insane.
And Finland.
And in Finland. I'm going to be talking about Japanese internment. Random thing.
Random.
But I am using photographs and stuff, and that's at Berlin, because they're doing a 75th anniversary, not anniversary, I don't know, 75th, 5 years since World War II. So I'm talking about the Japanese experience. I'm going to talk about mini doka from Idaho and stuff like that. And then I'm going to Finland, and I'm going to talk about all that art stuff I just said there, and that's about historical thinking and reasoning. There, Dad. See, I am doing stuff. Next question.
Let's see. Oh, our favorite food so far? Oh, that's hard.
That's kind of...
That's
Hagelsog. Easy to make. It's toast with chocolate on it. It's so good.
It's so messy.
There's also, we went to Ted's. Talk about the Ted's
Okay,
thing.
Ted's is this delicious cafe. It's where Gerald had the espresso martini. And we took Aaron there when he came and visited. And
Bless you.
I can't really explain it. They make a goat cheese sandwich that is made with fresh sourdough bread, thick layers of delicious goat cheese with apples, pears, avocado, and like a honey drizzle.
It seriously is one of the best things we're eating.
It is so good.
Aaron and I also had a rice stoffel. There's a lot of Indonesian food in the Netherlands, and they basically bring out, just look it up, but they bring out like 30 different things, and you just mix it and eat it in whatever order you want.
Yeah.
That was the only questions?
Yeah, that's it.
Was there anything else we can talk about?
Overall, we're doing good. The weather,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to complain. I know I'm in Europe, but it's been absolutely terrible.
Yeah, even the Dutch say
like
that,
wind
so.
for 3 weeks straight, like heavy winds.
Yeah, like that will blow over your bike. Like Kate got blown into a
I've been
parked
blown
car
over.
on a walk.
Yeah, with the kids, we got blown into a car.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Parked
Milo-
car,
A
not
parked car.
But yeah, it's really gray and cloudy. There's no snow to bounce light around, so
Yeah.
kind of if you suffer from seasonal effectiveness disorder, it's like bad. It's like Seattle but windy.
Worse. But worse.
Like way windier. Yeah. So, but it's gonna clear up in March, and so we want to get around the Netherlands when it's sunny.
Yeah, that's kind of our update.
Yep.
We're almost 2 months down, which is
I know, that's
insane.
crazy.
So
Yeah. But
definitely doing great, but
we miss all you
We
in the
miss-
States.
yeah.
Yeah, and thank you for your thoughts and talking to us and your prayers, and we are really thankful for all of you, and we miss you, and yeah. All right, Milo, say bye, dude.
Milo,
He needs a nap. Bye.
say bye.
Say dada.
Say Dewey.
Dada. Dada. Say dankjewel. Tot ziens. Doei pa.
He does this.
Bye.